Y'all see them in the streets struggling, young, dumb, and thuggin', give a fuck about nothing. Stuck at rock bottom, trying to come up on something. Pumping from sundown to sun up.
What's up, guys? Just here, back my channel. We're back with our reaction. Today, we started the HBO miniseries Chernobyl. Now, gotta be honest with you guys, right off the bat, as I always am, I am not a history buff or a history major by any means. Never really enjoyed this subject while in school, so I really don't know too much about Chernobyl going into this one. Pretty much going in blind here, not just for the series, but for the event itself, because I wasn't alive yet when the disaster took place. But I have seen photos of the elephant's foot, and I have seen the very bad found footage horror film, The Chernobyl Diaries, even though I do know it's probably not the best representation of Chernobyl. Also, I should say this as well, for every reactor that I am subscribed to that has already seen this series and reacted to it, every thumbnail of theirs that they posted, it seems like they're completely in tears. So I'm fully expecting this one to be an emotional roller coaster. If you guys have seen any of my reactions before, specifically my Game of Thrones reactions, then you guys know your boy's not scared to shed a tear or two. So I'm fully expected to before the series is over. But if you guys look for my full reactions to the show, link to my Patreon is down in the description below. Now subscribe to the channel. Now's a very good time to click that button down below. Smash the like button while you're there. That said, let's jump right in. Let's check it out. Let's go.
What is the cost of lies? The real danger is that if we hear enough lies, then we no longer recognize the truth at all. In these stories, it doesn't matter who the heroes are. All we want to know is who is to blame. In this story, it was Anatoly Dyatlov.
I got my dates right. This is 2 years after.
Dyatlov will spend the next 10 years in a prison labor camp. Of course, that sentence is doubly unfair. The man doesn't deserve prison. He deserves death.
Damn.
To them, a just world is a sane world. There was nothing sane about Chernobyl. Well, I've given you everything I know.
Dude definitely reminds me of my grandpa. Passed away a couple years ago. Has that old man European look. Is there someone in that ride? You think he'd be washed better? Like somebody could have just took him out in that alley right there. And the watcher never would have known. He has a cat though, so this dude is cool in my book. Oh shit! I didn't even realize what he was doing. Could he have not left the cab more food? Chernobyl, alright. That's one way to start things. Oh shit. Yo, I got a sub right at my foot too. I felt that. Clearly it's not as much as them though.
There is no core. It exploded. The core exploded.
He's in shock. Get him out of here.
The sack is burning. I saw it.
You're confused. RBMK reactor cores don't explode.
Oh, it sounds like he's speaking the truth right now.
Something strange has happened to your taste metal. I came off!
Taste metal.
Comrade Pedovchenko, what you're saying is physically impossible. The core can't explode. We're wasting time. Let's go. Get the hydrogen out of the generators and pump water into the core. What about the fire? Call the fire brigade.
I mean, you want a leader that is not going crazy and shit hits the fan, but I don't know. I think you might be wrong about this. Like I said, I don't know history, but I think you might be wrong.
This is a big one.
But it doesn't look right. The color.
Private says he thinks they're shining floodlights or something.
And what if they're chemicals?
The problem's a roof. This is covered in tar, so it's gonna burn all night, not stink like hell. That's the worst of it.
Okay, he's going in.
Go back to bed.
Nobody realizes how bad it is yet. Except for the one dude. 125, okay. I said it started almost 130. It was right when it hit 125. Oh! It's already too late.
Hey, we need to get to the reactor hole. Have you seen Hood and Chief? Where's Victor? Still in the pump room.
This feels like a horror film right now. I watch a lot of horror. You guys know that.
I'm gonna get you out of here. All set.
Now, please let me know, guys. Has it been said like how historically accurate this is?
What does the decimeter say? 3.6 Roentgen, but that's as high as the meter. 3.6. Not great, not terrible.
Still keeping it together.
We did everything right.
Clearly not everything. Imagine going into that too. No protection.
Vasily, what's this? I don't know, Misha. Don't fuck around with it. Put these up, come on.
Yeah, don't fuck around with it.
It tastes better. Yeah, what is that? I don't know. The valves, Misha. The valves, look. The valves, come on.
I have to believe if you're tasting metal, you're pretty much already dead at that point, right? There'll be long-term consequences as well if you do make it out. Somehow.
What do you need?
We need to get into the reactor hole to lower the control rods with the doors jammed.
I don't think there are control rods. I don't think there's a core.
It's gone.
You're mistaken.
This is just a start. Oh! That was the same dude that touched it. We're in. Yeah, there's your core. Holy shit. Have fun turning that off.
Let's go. Hey!
Yeah. They're now realizing it. Everyone's dead.
But Miller, you want to come with us? Come where? Go to the railroad bridge to get a better look.
I don't know how far the radius it actually
I think we
affects.
should go. It could be dangerous.
What do you mean dangerous? It's a fire. It's over there. We're over here.
You can.
Oh.
If these people start tasting metal, then I'm guessing they're dead too.
Did he say it was bad?
No, he said it was just a roof.
Well, he's never gotten hurt before. None of the boys have. He'll be fine.
Not this time.
Get some rest.
Stop. I looked right into it. I looked into the core.
It's gone.
Did you lower the control rods or not?
What control rods?
Take him to the infirmary. Topped and off. Take him? He's delusional.
His face.
Ruptured condenser lines. The feed water is mildly contaminated. He'll be fine. I've seen worse.
Okay.
Do we still have a phone
This
line to the
dude's
outside?
delusional. I was saying before, okay, he's keeping it cool. Keep it together.
Call in the day shift.
But if the...
We have to keep water flowing into the core. We need electricians, mechanics, we need bodies. How many times do I have to say it?
Okay, now I get why at the very start he could be facing 10 years, they said.
I'm going to the administration building now to call Brukhanov. Well, I don't know if I can make things better for you. But I can certainly make them worse.
150.
You're doing fine.
They haven't brought anyone in from the fire.
What fire?
The power plant.
Oh, it mustn't be too bad.
Does the hospital stock iodine pills?
Iodine pills? Why would we have iodine pills?
We have the situation under control.
Under control?
I have to get on the phone and tell Marion, or God forbid, Frolichev, that my power plant is on fire.
No one can blame you for this, Director Brukhanov.
Tell me what happened, quickly.
We ran the test exactly as Chief Engineer Fermin approved, encountered technical difficulties leading to an accumulation of hydrogen in the control system tank. It regrettably ignited, damaging the plant, setting the roof on fire.
Reactor?
Like, he's so nonchalant about it.
Water through the core.
What about radiation?
Obviously down here it's nothing but in the reactor building, I'm being told, 3.6 Rontgen per hour.
Well, that's not great, but it's not horrifying. Have them use a good meter from the safe.
What do you think makes the colours?
It's the fuel for sure.
What's the fuel for sure? What do you know about it?
You're just watching it like an event.
My friend here, he works at the power plant.
Yes, it is, though.
The gas and the fire, just atoms.
I mean, so am I.
He says the only thing is you can't walk right up to the fuel.
And there we go.
We've done all we can from the perimeter. We need to start making our way to the roof.
He's already seen the effects. Add to that they're already tasting metal too.
Facility is this path straight up. All the way up, all the way in.
What about the auxiliary? Pumps are gone, the electrical's gone, the core.
Gone.
I know what.
Watch the panel while we're gone.
It's not working.
Just watch it.
Is anyone saying what happened? They're running the safety test on the turbines. Blew the control system tank. It doesn't make sense to me either.
Gentlemen, welcome. Please, find a seat. Plenty of
4
room.
hours later.
I apologise for the lateness of the hour. First, the accident is well under control.
What's really going on here?
Fairly large.
How dangerous is this? You saw men outside vomiting. You saw men with burns. There's more radiation than they're saying. We evacuate the town.
Hey, this dude's the smartest one so far.
Please!
The air is glowing.
The Cherenkov effect, completely normal phenomenon, can happen with minimal radiation.
They're all just minimalizing it.
We seal off the city. No one leaves.
Wow.
And cut the phone lines. Contain the spread of misinformation. That is how we keep the people from undermining the fruits of their own labor.
Yeah, that won't worry the people. Freak them out a bit.
Yes, comrades. This is our moment to shine.
Don't to glow and melt. I mean, good speech, but so misinformed. That's coming from me. So what does that tell you?
I sent my dosimetrist into the reactor building. The large dosimeter from the safe, the one with 1,000 Rontgen capacity.
What was the number?
There was none. The meter burned out the second it was turned on.
It's another faulty meter. You're wasting our time.
I checked the meter against the control.
What's wrong with you? How'd you get that number from feed water leaking from a blown tank?
I think there's graphite on the ground in the rubble.
You didn't see graphite.
We saw that.
I did.
You didn't.
We did.
You didn't! Because it's not there!
It is.
Are you suggesting the core, what, exploded?
Yes. It's already been said like 100 times.
You're a nuclear engineer, so am I. So please tell me how an RBMK reactor core explodes.
I can't.
Are you stupid?
No.
I am. I have no idea.
I don't see how it could explode. But it did.
Enough. I'll go up to the vent block roof. From there you can look right down into reactor building 4. I'll see it with my own eyes.
Oh!
I apologize.
Oh yeah, he is so done. And he's still not believing it yet either. Puking his guts out. My apologies.
Food water. Been around it all night.
What?
Go to the vent block roof and report back what you see.
No. No, I won't do that.
Of course. Smart man.
You'll be fine. You'll see. Come on.
Did you not just see what took place there? All over the table and floor. Look at this.
Fyodor Legasov is the first deputy director of the Kurchatov Institute of Atomic Energy.
I am. Who am I
This is
speaking?
Boris Cherbina. There's been an accident at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant.
How bad is it?
No, not need to panic. There was a fire it's mostly put out.
Why does everybody say that?
I studied it.
General Secretary Gorbachev has appointed a committee to manage the accident. You're on it. We'll convene at 2 this afternoon.
Great shot here. I love the fact too, they're showing kids, babies being born in the hospital, like all this life is about to be affected. Birds, you know, wildlife's already being affected. Directed by Johan Renck. Craig Mazin. He also did Last of Us too, HBO. All right, guys, that was a very, very interesting first episode. I don't even know where we go from here because it feels like we pretty much got the majority of it right away in the first episode. We saw even the flashback at the very start, or I guess it was the flash forward at the very start. We saw the outcome for one of the main characters. We saw the event as it went down. It was kind of stressful and it kind of actually pissing me off for the majority of it. That one dude, Dyatlov, I've never heard that name before aside from like Dyalov's past, the Dyatlov Pass incident. If you guys have ever looked that up, it's actually very interesting. I think they've kind of broken it down ever since, but it used to be more like supernatural sounding. That's why I was always interested in that event. But back to this character, my God, he was pissing me off for the majority of this episode. Actually, the entire episode. Ever since we were introduced to his character, he's like basically telling everyone like, no, you're delusional. Man, the core's gone. Nah, you don't know what you're talking about. Go up there and check for yourself. Goes up there and checks for himself. You're still delusional. I don't believe you. It couldn't be. It's not possible. Like, this dude just didn't want to fucking believe the fact that shit had officially hit the fan. It was going down. And he's dead. And then even after, when he's throwing up on the table, he's like, oh, my apologies. Must have had something bad for breakfast this morning. Like, he's clearly not believing it as it's actually all going down, as he's witnessing it all until the very end there, where he's being dragged away. And I don't know how he's going to survive that if he does, because I'm pretty sure at the very start, they said he's going to be in prison for 10 years. In order to do that, he has to survive that. So how the hell does he actually survive this entire incident? This whole thing is actually scary, man. That's why I really want to know from you guys just how real or historically accurate is what we're seeing and what we saw throughout the course of this episode. I can only imagine from here it's going to get way worse. We saw at the very end of the episode with the wildlife being affected, the bird dropping with all those kids there. We were introduced to the hospital. People were starting to be wheeled in there. The one dude picked up the one like piece of, what was it? I don't even know what it was, like plutonium or something. Picks it up. He's like, oh, look at this. Like 3 minutes later, his hand is like freaking melting. That was scary. So yeah, things are not going good. And what we're about to see from here on out, I feel like it's only going to get worse. We're going to see just how bad everyone else is affected, the surrounding area. Like, we heard everybody saying too, like, oh, do you taste metal? Do you smell metal? Like, I'm assuming once you taste that or once you smell that, you're officially dead. Like, I don't know how big the radius is either. Guys, let me know the specifics down in the comments below, because I really want to know basically more about this now. This interests me really. Like, this episode here has definitely got me interested. I really want to read more into it, but at the same time, obviously it's history. It's already gone down. I don't want to spoil anything from the series for myself. So that's why I'm saying, like, let me know like how much of this is fiction, whatnot, because yeah, I'm intrigued. We got some great acting, some great performances so far. Also, like, we see the fear these guys face, aside from Dyatlov, who the one dude just does not want to believe it. He was remaining like super calm at first. I was actually pointing that out too. I'm like, this is the type of leader that you want. I take that back, man. You do not want a leader that refuses to believe the actual scenario as it's playing out in front of your eyes. And then at the very start, I was like, man, he's keeping it together. He's like, he's giving out orders. He's making sure he's not freaking out in front of his troops. That's what you want out of a leader. And I still stand by that. But everything we saw after from him, screw that guy, not a fan. Then the one dude I felt so bad for afterwards because he was being sent in. I feel like this is probably something I'm gonna have to get used to saying throughout the remaining 4 episodes, because I'm already feeling bad for people. The one dude, at the very end there, he's like, man, the core is gone. And the one guy was about to go see for himself. He's like, you don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Delusional himself, right before he threw up there. He's like, I want to see it for my own eyes. Of course he does. And then right before he goes and sees it for his own eyes, he throws up. That all goes down. The other dude is being sent up there. He's like, man, I don't need to see it for my own eyes. I already told you guys, it is gone. The core is gone. Everybody has told you the core is gone. Like, they're all saying it's not possible. It can't be. They don't realize how screwed they actually are, except for everybody, apparently every other worker, except for all the head honchos. Well, the one dude, he's like, man, I don't need to go see. I already told you guys the core is gone. Why am I going up there? And then he initially refused too. I don't know if he would have been in prison or whatnot. Honestly, if you feel like the core is gone, you're like a nuclear physicist specialist, you already know the results of the core being gone, then yeah, keep refusing, man. You might as well, you're dead anyway. But he went up there, he saw for himself, he was pretty much coerced or forced into it. He saw for himself. It was a great view, but that was a view of death right there. So yeah, I already know it's gonna get way worse from here. I was saying it just at the very start of this recap. I don't know where we go from here because I felt like they could have just ended it right here. This felt like a whole event, this whole movie in itself. But yeah, they're gonna show us all the repercussions, all the consequences of this event, and yeah. No tears yet. I'm keeping it together so far. Obviously, all these scenarios, I don't really know these characters too much just yet. I don't know if they are actually real people that actually existed. So let me know that in the comments down below also. Maybe I'll get even more attached to these people. But yeah, I don't really know names just yet. So I don't really have characters that I really like kind of grabbed a hold on to just yet to be emotionally connected to. But hey, there's still 4 more episodes to go. So I'm sure it'll happen at some point. But there was already some crazy moments just from this first episode. We saw the outcome, like just how quickly it was affected. And I was a little bit confused by like how some of these people are being affected so quickly and other people were still standing. But I guess it affects everybody different, how close they were to the actual blast itself. But in the long scheme of things, they're all dead anyway, right? So unless Diloff, if he's going to be up for imprisonment or up for trial, how the hell does he survive that at all? We shall see. Man, what an amazing first episode, though. It really took me back. The first, like, flash forward, I'm like, all right, let's see. It might be a little bit of a slow burn. And then right after he hangs himself, we're basically thrown right into it. We see the explosion. I felt the rumble through my subwoofer here and my feet. I actually felt it. I even said, too, like, if I'm feeling it, I can only imagine what they were actually feeling during that time. But it really makes you think also, because I also mentioned in the episode, real life horror. Like, I mentioned Jim Jones stuff. That's one piece of history that I was actually interested in before, because I actually couldn't believe that it did take place. Man, actually seeing this now for myself, the whole Chernobyl experience, or close realization, or as close as possible of what they think it actually, how it did play out. Seeing it now for myself, I'm definitely more interested to go back and see it for myself, because it almost seems like too crazy to actually exist. Were all these people so incompetent too? Man, is that why it was as bad as it was? Because nobody wanted to believe it? But yeah, this episode was freaking crazy, man. I already know it's going to be a wild ride from here on out. Going back to the real life horror, though, topic, obviously, I don't live in a city where there's a power plant like that or energy core, anything even remotely similar to this, but I do live in a steel city, Canada's steel city, so it kind of makes me think, like, there's definitely been fires before where there's been emergencies being sent down, it's been in the news, like, you see the fires, like, I'm on the mountain of my city, so it's down below where you can actually see whatever, like, explosions go off or something bad has happened before. You see it in the air, so it really makes you think, man. It's kind of crazy, the whole thing. I'm definitely going to see every time I drive by that now, moving forward, I see fire, because you see fire coming out of it all the time, but it's just regular occurrences. That's just a steel plant, never mind an actual energy or power plant. Man, I can only imagine anybody that lives even remotely close to any of those, what they must be thinking watching this stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely going to view that differently just from this first episode. Could only imagine my view on things moving forward after this entire series is complete. But yeah, as always, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys can like and subscribe, really helps my channel grow. Till next time, I am out. Enjoy your day. Peace.
Why didn't smoke enough for you? Didn't drink enough for you? Wasn't fun enough for you? Wasn't good enough for you? Damn, you play me like a yo-yo and shit. Well, I am not the one to be yo-yo, and when you put that shit on me, then I watch you leave. Let you back in, you came back in and shit on me. Drag me along for a